transparency and moral duty, but no further returns have been made public since. In today's press conference, he deflected questions on the issue without offering a release date. I'm telling you, Gavin Newsom is such a good magician. He's like, oh, President Trump and this administration, you love taxes, right? He tries to bring in those jokes and deflection because he hates all the accountability. I'm telling you, he's allergic to it. It's nuts. I look at this, deflecting to President Trump while insisting that federal investigations into him and his wife are part of the White House-directed witch hunt to find something. No, I'm telling you, it started with the Biden administration, and anything else is just garbage propaganda. Look, this, despite repeatedly pledging to release his tax returns every year while in office, Newsom has not publicly disclosed returns beyond those covering tax year 2020. That is garbage. 2020. And this guy wants to be president of the United States. Yeah. No, thank you. Look at some of the comments on TikTok. One person says, oh, he's nervous. Another person says, always has to bring up Trump. I'm telling you, another person says, nobody voted on the gas tax. Cost almost as much as an economy car. Yeah, I'm telling you. Gavin Newsom talks about how we love taxes, yet he doesn't pay taxes. Kind of a terrible person. And you know what else was just really, really shocking to me was whenever they were kind of in this debate with him and the reporter, a bunch of, I'm just going to call them bots, a bunch of Gavin Newsom stooges right behind him, started clapping as he walked away, as if he won the argument. Gavin, you didn't win anything. You just didn't answer the question, and then you walked away like a child. I love what Kevin Dawkins said. He says that he has been promising to release for 6 years and then storming off the stage like a petulant child. Go and watch this.
Well, I am, because that's why I've released all my taxes for decades, and you will have all those new tax returns because I have no reason why you haven't gotten them already. So I have no
problem. What happened there? Gavin, you didn't do anything. You didn't do anything, you didn't say anything, you just deflected. That is such garbage. And this is one of the clip that I want to share from this moment today, and it was whenever Gavin Newsom was talking about Graham Plattner. Again, like the worst decisions that Democrats in Maine have ever made, because this guy was just riddled with a bunch of nonsense. Again, rape allegations, Nazi tattoos, just the worst things you can possibly imagine. And here's what Gavin Newsom has to say about it.
I'm already, forgive me and turn the page and move on. I can't get into the merits of what they do in Maine in terms of that vetting process, et cetera. I just don't know enough to have an informed opinion. Clearly, there wasn't enough vetting done, so that's by definition table stakes in this conversation. But for me, the stake in the ground is what do we do to win and move forward? And every second we're talking about the past is a second wasted in terms of the essential nature of that race.
Let's forget everything and let's move forward. No, what are you talking about? Like Elizabeth Warren attached herself to this guy, you attach yourself to this guy, Bernie Sanders attached themselves to this guy, and now you just want to say, oh guys, forget about it. How little respect do you have for...
You think this is how I got my tan?
Think again. Create your own sunshine with Jergens Natural.
This is the Burger King Original Chicken Sandwich. Yeah, the long one. Try the classic. Or the crunchy, creamy, loaded jalapeno. Or the smoky, bacony club. This lineup is loaded with flavor for days.
Voters, how little respect do you have for these people who trust your opinion? That is garbage. I can't believe that. I thought that was absolutely ridiculous. And so I'm not surprised whenever I see this. Awesome, again, from Kevin Dawkins. He says, now it makes sense why Gavin Newsom is so desperate to be anywhere but California, because I don't know if you guys caught this, but according to the Sacramento Bee, Gavin Newsom has launched a tour, a fundraising campaign for Dems in Nevada and the South. So look at this. Governor Gavin Newsom will travel to Nevada on Thursday, the first stop in a national tour to help Democrats flip Republican-held state houses and congressional seats in November as he eyes a potential run for president in 2028. So he's going to go ahead and be in Las Vegas through Saturday and in order to help gain some of those seats. And this person is making a joke saying that this is part of the reason why he's so eager to leave. And you know what? The reason is actually super hilarious.
California remains one of the worst states to move to for the year 2026. A new Consumer Affairs report ranks the Golden State as the third worst state to move to. This is the third year in a row California was in the top three. New Mexico, Louisiana, they topped the list. Now they determine the rankings based on affordability, safety, education, healthcare, and quality of life. California was dead last in affordability and second to last in safety. The best states to move to, New Hampshire and Utah.
Oh man, that is brutal. California, the third worst state to move to in 2026. Only states they are behind is New Mexico and Louisiana. And that is, let me know if you're shocked on that. All right, let me know if you're shocked, or let me know if that is just confirms we've already believed. But now let's go ahead and talk about some of the latest polls, because I'm gonna be honest with you, this even surprised me. Okay, take a look here. On the Democrat 2028 ballot, Harris holds the lead, 14 points. Kamala Harris is beating Gavin Newsom by 14 points right now. That is nuts. Kamala word salad Harris is beating Gavin Newsom by 14 points. What are you talking about? Like, again, I don't like either of them, but a 14-point advantage is shocking. So Kamala Harris at 29%, Gavin Newsom at 15%, Pete Buttigieg at 11%. Why is Pete Buttigieg in double digits, first of all? All right, is this going to be his chance to become VP? Wow, quite possibly. I know Kamala Harris said that she didn't want to choose him as VP back in 2024 because he was gay, and apparently the American people cannot comprehend that. All right, according to Kamala Harris, so those were her words in 107 days. But, geez, that is nuts. But, boy, is that a real blow to Gavin Newsom. Again, this guy has been trying to become a baby President Trump ever since for the last, 2 years. And, where did that get him? It got him to 15%. Got him to 15%. Maybe he's not doing better because he keeps doing a bunch of garbage like this. Did you guys know, I did report on this last week, but California is now paying more per gallon in their gas taxes. Look at this, Steve Hill, Republican, running for governor in California. He is going to be on the ballot in November, so remember his name. He says today, the highest gas tax in the country gets even higher, 61.2 cents to 63.4 cents per gallon. Xavier Becerra loves to blame President Trump and the Iran war, but his Sacramento machine is directly increasing prices. I'll cut the gas tax and unleash California production to deliver $3 gas. Do you guys remember $3 gas in California? I do. Those were the days.
So we already have the highest gas tax in the country, 61.2 cents a gallon. Now, today, it's going up, 63.4 cents a gallon. They are gouging us in California. These people who keep going on about affordability, they are increasing taxes. Just a couple of weeks ago, they increased tax on healthcare plans, on software. Now, the highest gas tax in the country just got higher. Javier Becerra and his...
Interesting discussion in class. Hey, you want to go back? Hold on. Yeah, just the last 45 seconds there. Hey, see how the way they worded that? I can't, if I said that, nobody would get it, but I get what they mean. I'll translate that the best I can. All right, so in reference to what Adam C. Moreno here is talking about with Gavin Newsom and other things, taxes. Right, a lot of people ask, what's with the so much secrecy and being quiet? Almost like like someone who has a secret and no one else can know. It's never been seen before. Come on, really? Right, so when you think of maybe an investigator or a peddler or someone that's involved, they know they have a lot of people underneath them, they influence a lot of people. They have a large audience. They get a lot of sponsors, donors, businesses, investments, stock holdings. I mean, there's so much, when it comes to people up at that level. Things that a lot of us have no partake in. It seems to be like a lot of people, that's their whole lives, and yeah, nothing. A lot of people have been talking about that different, like insider trading stuff, as far as so many people trying to capitalize and make deals overseas. Hey, what do you got seaweed? What do we got? We got seaweed too. What else you got? Heroin. Yeah. We got honey, blueberries, strawberries. We don't grow heroin. I don't think so. Where do they get it from? Is it grown from a plant? Are you a hero? I can imagine back in the days. It's still to this day. Dealers, they are looked at like gods, huh? I remember being a kid and seeing some of the dealers, how people fucking treated them like gods, protected them. You couldn't, you said anything bad to them. They stand right up, protect them. Oh, they always look to do a solid or a favor for them. They look for that kind of stuff. Sometimes almost set up scenarios and make them think they just saved their ass. Now they owe them a favor. Right, I mean, it's not like that, though. It's expected, that it's played out. Man, wow, I was like, close, you just saved my life, man, They're giving you free drugs for years. Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, it happens all the time. But I can remember, people would work for them. I mean, they'd say, do this, move, and they move. Yeah, jump, and they jump. Exactly. Don't look at his soft spot. Don't look at his soft spot. Aw, so tender. Yeah. So anyways, I think what they're, in essence, what they're really trying to drive home is that how a lot of these governors, right, we've been talking about the State Department people and the governors, who are the ones that, like, when the schools shut down, yeah, even the president couldn't say no, that's not right. They were in control, right? Was there a vote? Who votes on that? How come, right, it seems like the public gets omitted from some of the most important votes, and then it's like, cheesecake or apple pie? Fuck off. Well, you don't vote? Nope. Nope. Not today. Maybe, who knows? We'll see. Things are bound to change, right? In life, things are subject to change at any moment. Well, you let me know if it's a close call. We'll head on down to the ballot box. You know how we roll. Last minute type of people. Yeah, I mean, if it looks close, yeah, we'll have hordes of people. We'll make sure to tip the scales. Trust me, there's so many. There's every time it'll tip the scales. That's how many of us non-voters there are, just waiting in the rafters if needed to tip the scales in whatever direction. Yeah. Have you been watching and listening? I'm not doing anything. I'm just aware that there are good forces at be. It's nothing personal. It's not like there are people in control. I think it's more of a what's right. And there are a lot of good people in this world, and it just comes through, you know? Yeah, I know. You see when I don't do my stretches and stuff first, my light stretches and things like that. Yeah, it affects those things. Seems to. Not a big deal. I'm okay with it if you are. Right. So when you understand what we've been talking about with these state workers and governors, it's so bad how some of these people have been fucking with people and teaming up with nasty fucking sluts and druggies and marketers in some of these communities. So when you look at how the governors have a lot of influence, and that influence really perpetuates a lot of these groups that go out protesting or fighting or spray painting or washing turtles and being peaceful. Notice the areas where there's things that certain things get kicked up. Now we're going to try to connect some dots or just maybe help you with something you might not have connected. If you listen closely, it'll make sense. Or just let it play in the background. Sometimes that's better. You know how almost if you're not thinking about something and then you're trying to think of something and you got to stop thinking about it to think about it. Something like that. It just comes to you. Oh, that was it. It's like it doesn't matter now, but oh, that feels good. For some reason. I don't know why. You want to explain that? String theory, people? Fucking shit. Wow. What? I can't even. It's fucking sick. You Americans make me fucking sick. To all you other Americans, wow. Amazing. Thank you so much. Talk about showing up, right? For what's right. I mean, that doesn't save all the hostages. And we understand that. No, many of them get killed. They get fucked and tortured till they die. And they look so well taken care of, don't they? Just like little beaten puppy dogs that'll lick your face after you beat them. Just like that. Yeah, so hopefully the proper authorities do what they're supposed to do. But what they're trying to drive home here is the governors and the influence they've had over these things. Now here in Maine, Governor Mills, I believe her siblings and people, they're all involved with the transgender organizations. Yeah. Now, are you also doing drug busts? Right. Now, when you see a lot of these investigations, a lot of the fake and real shit being thrown around, and they're just having a hog show. Just like, remember 9/11? Right, and they make these abuse videos look like it's over in the Middle East somewhere, India, China, Russia. Yeah, it depends. Have you noticed that over the decades it depends on... And then you hear it come out in the news, oh, Chinese gangs or Middle Eastern gangs, Somali gangs. It all depends on who they're fucking with. The immigrants and the mentally ill people that they fuck with to get to grow stuff, run factories, drive, baby, drive. I just like to smell. I just like to smell. I thought that was just broccoli. I thought it was broccoli. Well, you know what? These consequences are way better than the ones I would have faced if I didn't try to drive. So, take me in, boys and girls. No fucking problem. I know, you see this all the time in these situations, huh? Right, and thank goodness we have such lines of communication and like prayer chains almost, you know? And not to mention the listening devices, security, and surveillance. And then these fucktards, the shit they signed off in 2010. We try to tell them what you're using to watch and listen to us. They're using way better stuff to watch and listen to you. So you're fucking yourselves by trying to fuck us. We're bait. We told you that. I'm just a worm. Right, but also at the same time, hopefully people are realizing that, yeah, what's real is real. And those kids have been fucked and tortured for years, and they were vaccine injured in 2013 behind my back. Yeah, and those boys really like Suboxone, don't they? Huh, Mikey? Squid, Captain, Fever. I know, remember in 2012, I told them they weren't going to fucking get away with this shit. I know, and when you see, they think they're part of bigger and better things, right? Would one of them say the nephew's going to become part of the FBI? Fresh out of college, huh? And right in bed with you punks. Okay. I know, they're good guys, right? They're good guys. It makes you sad because they are good guys. Yeah, they make you laugh sometimes. You start to kind of like them, Well, I don't remember, what was it? I think even his buddies, what was it? Fever, Captain, and Squid. Remember we were standing down by the side of the garage. And they were, they weren't really complaining, but they were talking about how psychotic his mother was. Yeah, these fucking freaks with my children. Yeah, they were talking about how psychotic his mother was. And that she got pissed off. Something about mustard on the sandwich or something. Right, I mean, it's like she was like the kind of person where if you were like, oh, no mustard on a sandwich, she'd flip out and grab the plates, and if you're going to complain, I will make you nothing, and throw them away, kind of a thing. Yeah, fucking psycho. She's a mean bitch, huh? She was really mean to her husband, Mr. Cottrell. Larry, yeah, he was a very nice guy. What a fucking bitch, huh? I remember going down one time, because we were living in the garage right next to our house there. Well, see, after the private investigator had shot himself in 2009, and then this guy comes into the picture out of the chop shops from down south. I mean, it was hard to lay off in a sense. And if you go back and you know what was going on and the series of events. Yeah. Yeah, so to people like us, that's like big fucking red flags all over the place. No way. We don't. No. That gets people killed. Right, so then when you see how they tried to set up some of our police officers in 2011, but how maybe the police officers thought, right, the setup with cartel family, the retards, the problems that should have been locked up years ago. Right, so that's why love and forgiveness, and it's so sad a lot of these officers get caught up in these things, so we do the best we can to bring awareness. Now, this fucking dude's leaving a loaded gun around, right? Now think of the chemicals and shit they're messing with. And it's okay, right? I know, it's all part of the training. Tripping people up. Right, so they're leaving a loaded gun around. Right, he'd been whispering in my ear that my son was going to be a serial killer and kill me. For real, right? I couldn't fucking believe it. You gotta be fucking kidding me. So thank goodness for our awareness, because that could have been me or an officer dead. Yeah, when you know these networks too, and just how deep it goes, and what they're feeding, the lines they're feeding, and trying to bring awareness to those. I mean, you've got these animal activist groups from Dollywood to P. Diddy, Epstein Island, feeding information, scouting, touting, targets, up-and-comers. Just got it. Yeah, baby, you got it. Right, so when you think about how the governors have a lot of influence and control over these groups that are the ones going out in the street protesting, you hear the rhetoric come right out of their mouths. Or the ignorance. Ignorance. Yeah, and then just playing childish games. Oh, now you're ignoring us. Oh, first we were ignoring you, and now you're ignoring us. You hypocrite. It's cute. Hey, we got punks here at the Governor Hill Mansion. Nasty fucking hags. Like to fucking torture little kids. Sexually abuse. Fucking torture. The abuse these kids have been through is unspeakable while you fucking nasty fucks play your games. Regardless of how nasty and dirty my mouth is, how mean you think I am, whatever you think I've done to deserve whatever, okay, that's fine for you to understand. What do I deserve? And for you to get that that's a huge issue with these cases when it comes to State Department people and the meddling going on with mentally ill people and immigrants. I know so many think it's just so innocent, right? And they're helping. I know, you're a bunch of fucking nasty Hitlers, as usual. Very Hitlerian. Disgusting. Destitutes with a lot of money. Despicable's too nice for those people. There's not a word. You can't come up with a word grotesque and evil enough to describe. You know what they're doing to those kids? Are you fucking kidding me? And then when you think of the mentally ill people and the immigrants they've taken advantage of and that have been killed and beaten. And they fucking turn their heads to it. And expect you to fucking make a huge scene if someone feels threatened or gets called a name. You sick fucks. Nasty fucking sick fucking people. Democrats, Republicans, liberal, you're all a bunch of sick fucks. All y'all. I'm just talking to the sick ones, so I mean, if you want to take offense to that and turn your head to the abuse of these kids, because I deserve it, understand that's the fucking issue. And a lot of people around the world and our intelligence teams understand that too, and they've been showing people these Pandora box, Alice through the looking glass type scenarios. Now, when you see these communities with governors who promote different things, now over here in Maine, Newsom said he doesn't know what they're doing over there. Well, you should, shouldn't you? If you're a governor, how many fucking states are there? I mean, we talk to at least 50 different people every day, yeah? Or you could say, hey, I mean, you could have a time where there's all 50 or however many, yeah? Well, we say, you know, sometimes a few aren't going to be able to make it. They might have an appointment or a family emergency. So, I mean, at least 50 of them. And then the ones who couldn't make it can let the others know. Right, I mean, they do such a great job at doing it with other things and making mandates. For what? You had to protect the trackers and tracers and investigators. Are you sure? You fell for that, huh? Yeah, the fucking psychos and goons and criminals always get people to fall for that stuff. Fear the reaper. Isn't it exciting? You're working undercover and risking your lives and doing what you can to protect people from us dangerous non-vaxxers. Keep them busy, boys. Keep them busy. Electric cars, that's a good one. Wasn't that funny too? Remember that interview where they're just touting about like how it's saving electricity? This was great. It was back, probably 5 years ago. And then you notice all of a sudden things started to sway back in the other direction with certain people. It was so stupid because they were talking to someone with a Tesla. They pulled up to the building and they were showing them how they charge their Tesla at the charging station. And so the person interviewing him asked, like, so the point is to save on the gas, though, right? To not have as many emissions. So these power charging stations. So we're going to charge our cars instead of put gas. I think it's a good idea. I mean, it makes sense, right? I mean, they've shown either one can explode and catch on fire, right? So can a bike. Yeah. Have you seen those solar-powered ones? Yeah, I remember looking at those. They've probably even upgraded even more since then. So the solar-powered RVs. Yeah, those are cool. Allows you to boondock off-grid by converting sunlight into DC electricity via roof-mounted panels. This energy charges an onboard battery bank, while an inverter converts the 12-volt, 24-volt, 84-volt DC into 120-volt AC to run household appliances like microwaves and coffee makers. Oh, those are pretty cool. You'll need more of a custom setup if you want to add hair dryers and air conditioners and stuff. Let's see, it looks like they range from just adding the solar power to your RV. If you already have an RV and you want to add the solar power, looks like that could range from $1,500 to $12,000 for the solar power. Or you could buy a belt and we can open a greenhouse in your name. Do you have enough to do both? Fuck the kids, I know. Enjoy. Get a fishing pole. I know, it's like $10,000. I mean, you see people spend $10,000 every day like nothing. Like nothing. on different things. Some people, yeah, $10,000 for their drugs, $10,000 for some new accessories. Shopping is an addiction, big time. Oh, I don't think we need to prove that, do we? You want to give us some funding and we can prove it to you? What good would that do? What does overconsumption and excessive spending have to do with anything? Nothing. I mean, you're right. I didn't say don't do that. You know, I probably overconsume some things. Spend money on things I don't need. Nothing wrong with it. It's just different amounts and levels, classes. Right? Being mean is being mean, whether you're poor or rich. Being nice is being nice. A smile is a smile. Human being's a human being. Some can't seem to tell the difference. Do you know the difference between a human being and a dog? I know. I remember we tried bringing that up and it turned into what's the difference between a man and a woman with their transgender shit. Yeah. Very cool. A lot of mockery, for sure. It's so funny, isn't it? Especially when you understand what's at heart. For a lot of us, anyways. Pathetic. How pathetic. Right, so when you see how much influence a lot of these governors and stuff, and you remember we were calling out Mills, what the fuck, you dumb bitch. What the fuck, you dumb, stupid bitch. Right, and then when you look at the transgender shit and the investigations, I know you needed to do it, right? You gotta get the dealers or give the dealers deals and then watch them spread it to the kids, as always. Simply the best. I'm every woman, it's all in me. Anything you want to, baby, I do it naturally. Oh, oh, oh. Right, and so when all this is happening and you're just watching these fucking freaks in the street with their hot dogs and vaginas on their head and white supremacy, racist bullshit, go back around COVID time and the psychic and Catholic networks that were being exposed again. The same kind of ones back in like 92, 93, remember? Poor Miss O'Connor. Mr. Wilson! Father, Mother, God, both feet on the ground. Those hermit cookies expired on the 8th, and it's now the 10th. I didn't eat them all. There was 4 big ones. Do you think it's still safe? If I nuke it for a second, it'll probably be alright, yeah? Yeah, I'll just nuke it for a second. Well, more than a second. 23 seconds. How about 22? 23? Alright, I'll nuke it for 23 seconds. Have it served warm with some nice pineapple Dole Whip. That sounds good. I'm not going to have it now though, maybe later. It's more expired every minute that goes by. Every passing second. Every blink of an eye. Addie. Teacher says, every time a bell rings, an angel gets its wings. But yeah, when you look at the influence they have over a lot of those groups, and in the places where it's more of a breezeway and loading dock kind of place, pit stop, loading dock, breezeway type thing, right? It's more of the lighthearted kind of transgender, hazing, tating type, gaslighting, innocent stuff. And then when you look where you see where it goes to, the drugs, the information, the weapons, as opposed to the funding they were supposed to get for the inner city programs and proper education. No, instead they load them up with drugs, both from the street and in the schools. Are you fucking kidding me? So fucking scary to a lot of people. And the ones that got killed and died in the horror, so sad. So fucking sad to see those good people who spent their lives doing humanitarian work and trying to help others just fucking die in torment. Mental, physical, both. Fuck, dude. So sad. So fucking sad. I know many still alive, watching in horror like us, their children being tortured or already dead. How sad. You can relate. So you want to help bring awareness about the issues we're talking about, or stay silent, wait for karma to get the bad people? It ain't me, babe. No, it ain't me, babe. It's like a red rubber ball. I'm the Pied Piper. Don't follow me. Right, so then when you look in the areas where it goes to, the stuff being influenced to those groups is a little bit different. Instead of, go out in the street and save the turtles, save the whales, women's rights, gay, transgender, race, whatever it is, right? It's a little bit more subtle. And then you go to the other areas and they get them out there, like, fucking, it's insane. Some of these teen takeover areas, marching in the street for what? They don't even fucking know. Drive, baby, drive. For what are you doing? You gonna protect what? Who? Which ones? Names. Which ones? What are you talking about? Who's being abused? Who feels oppressed? Tell me. Right, so it's sick. It's fucking sick. And then when you see just the total ignorance throughout the school systems and what's already happened in this last 10 to 15 years with school and church shootings. And when you understand these governors and State Department people fucking with immigrants and mentally ill people, where's that going to be mostly? In the public schools and the churches. So, yeah, you sick fucks are done. You state workers, we get you names and numbers. I'd back the fuck up if I were you and shut your fucking mouths and start to get real. Do you feel threatened? Okay, because we don't even expect him to smack that sick motherfucker on the wrist. And you go ahead and enjoy your fucking bonbons and your whoopie pies and your Hot Pockets. And shut your fucking mouths. And hopefully the proper authorities will continue to put you in your fucking places and speak the fucking truth about the issues you don't want to talk about. and how you're so fucking scared of the non-vaxxers and the Nazis. It's ridiculous, and it's so fucking obvious to anyone with common sense. So hopefully the proper authorities do what they're supposed to do. My name's Mary. We're at the Governor Hill Mansion in Augusta, Maine. I have 4 children here, and my youngest 2 are in the hands of sick, murderous pedophiles. They were vaccine injured in 2013. They tried to fucking kill me. Beat up a little boy in the tub. And when you see how these fucking psychos protect these nasty fucking druggies and pedos and what we've been dealing with, you should wake up to that if you haven't already and do what you can to help those hostages. Much love, health, and peace to you all. Yes, you take care as well. Peace be with you. Thank you. We're going to go make our second coffee. Probably take a few sips of water in between. I gotta pee. I'm gonna play some music, maybe do some stretches and coloring. Well, like light, it's very light stretches and toning. I like the resistance bands and stuff. I have, what do you call it? Like hypermobility, ligament, connective tissue issues. Yeah, no big deal. A lot of people have that. We're all human, right? We all have connective tissues and joints and ligaments and... Right, so hypermobility, some people's joints hyperextend. I don't remember being a kid, are you double jointed? Yeah, some just more so than others. It could be, a number of different reasons. You have genetics, injuries, almost like the brain too. If you have injuries to the spinal cord or something before a certain age, I think there can be permanent damage or disfiguration or off alignments or something. Yeah, a lot of people have that too, Whatever reasons, could have been in an accident or shooken around, who knows. Oxygen deprivation. Well, that would be more brain damage. They say the prefrontal cortex. That's why when people are trying to get through to these fucking psychos prescribing this shit to children. Yeah, so sad. So sad. I think they say before like the age of like 12, 13-ish, that pubescent age. Yeah, those drugs, if you're getting prescribed that stuff, they've proven these things and how bad it is and the ongoing permanent damage and how difficult it is for people to come off of those things. Yeah, this has been going on for many years. I know everyone's a victim. I know, you gotta heal. Yep, tell your story. It's a lot of funding for it. Listen up. Wah. I know, and they all play these fucking psycho sick people, just like the Epstein Island shit, trying to come out and tell their stories and how they came off of the SSRIs and their kids who were like 6 or 7 years old that were on them for 6 or 7 years coming off of them by the time they're teenagers. Oh, good for you. Congratulations. Fucking sick cunts. Anyways, I really, really hope the proper authorities here in Augusta, Maine do what they're supposed to do to help these children, hostages, and explain to the public how these punks get away with it and the unspeakable, horrific torture and torment and teasing that these poor kids go through in the hands of these sick fucking punks. Even the fake stuff is pretty bad, huh? Right, how is it fake though, right? Because it's real. So what do you mean fake, right? Beating the women in burqas, and then when you think of the Catholic charity stuff, and how they'll claim to be beaten or raped, they'll go into the church and then just get funding. The more beaten women they have, the better. Right, I mean, they'll actually, the ones in the churches and stuff, will promote them to do that. And just check a box, because they need so many people. Just like a church or a congregation, if you have so many people, then boom, you get funding for what? Like a daycare. Think about it. Yeah, so you people are fucking sick, and I hope you motherfuckers burn in hell forever and ever, and that you feel the pain and torture these kids have felt tenfold, intrinsically and physically. I really hope so. I don't know if you have the capability. Some of them don't have, the empathy to feel that, so intrinsically it's just not going to happen. So we'll make sure to fucking make sure they feel the pain and torture nice and slow, tenfold. Well, not us personally. The good Lord above, you know. God, karma. Right, you know how that works, right, spiritual people? It's coming for you, you sick fucks. Both feet on the ground, Father, Mother, God. Much love, health, and peace to you all. You're welcome. You're welcome. We sure hope so. We're here if you have any other questions, comments, concerns, or suggestions as to how we can get people to pull their heads out of their asses and speak the fucking truth. Right here in Augusta, Maine, we're talking to a very select people. We have children here at the Governor Hill Mansion that have been fucked and tortured for years. And the child and animal pornography being fed out. Strong arming and fucking with a lot of good forces. Right, Mr. Jones? Mr. Rogan, I'm sure you guys get it. You want to help explain it to your audiences? Or are they too busy figuring out how the pyramids were built and being enlightened? You sick fucks. Much love, health, and peace to you all. Thank you, thank you, thank you, and you're welcome. Mwah!